man, it's the Leave It Buckeyes, man. Show is brought to you by FanDuel. We are live on a Thursday night because we're officially, it's not week 0 no more, Tim. It's week 1 of college football. Hey, man, we got Texas in 2 days, man. 2 days. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Man, college football. Look, I know we've been doing these podcasts every week, but it still feel like it kind of snuck up on me here, man. I'm not used to the big time game this early, right? I feel like I'm used to easing my way still into the season, but it's here. A couple days from here, Columbus is gonna be flooded with a ton of fans. I think I heard Big X the Plug is gonna be in the city.
Okay, Big X. All right, I think he just dropped the album, man. I think he dropped a country cross album, something like that. Yeah, Big X. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening. Dave Portnoy banned from the shoe. Rumor he got banned from this.
We got to ban no guy like that, man. We've been, man, that's all politics, man. That's fake news.
Fake news. I don't know. I think there's some truth to it, man. I think
you think it's some truth.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there was probably some plans to have, part Barstool as a part of the experience. And then somebody on the Ohio State side probably said, "Yeah, I don't know if you really like it." You know what I'm saying? Like we want to be good partners with y'all, Fox, but every time y'all keep doing things that we don't necessarily care for, we let y'all get some big noon games off, but not every big game be big noon.
I mean,
and
then y'all
bring a guy, right? And then y'all bring a guy who, I just feel like he took it probably a step further than what you would like in terms of. I mean, it's all in the fun of rivals, Michigan, Ohio State, but he might have took it too far a little bit talking about Brian Day. So I feel like if you're Ohio State, it's like, I mean, it's cool to do whatever you want to do, but how about y'all? You just does that from outside the state. This is not in the shoot, right? That's how I feel. I feel like they had some. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, man, like I've been seeing him on some of my socials, and he's been around Columbus. He's like, he does like the pizza thing. I've seen him at a couple pizza spots here, and it was tearing some things up. But it seems like he's trying. I seen him. He made a tweet about like Dublin, Ohio, and all those type of things. He's trying to play it nice. I think the AD came out and said, like, look, we didn't ban him, from the stadium. And like you said, I think you feel a little bit different about it. I don't think we need to ban a guy like that, man. I think he's a gimmick guy, right? Like he kind of get to come, he get to say crazy and walky things, and then from there, him and what's the platform? Barstool platform, man. That's what they do. They make a lot of wonky content, man. Some of it's relatable because they do have some guys over there that know some things, but some of it's just, in my opinion, just straight entertainment, clickbait type of deal. So I don't know, man. I don't feel like we need to ban a guy like that. He should know better than coming in our stadium and just think it's gonna be all love and you get to say your little speeches or whatever, your predictions.
I'll rephrase it. I don't think maybe it was a ban, but it's kind of like it's not the big noon pregame. It's not college game day. Like it's just a step below what we do, right? It's just like a step below. So do your thing, but just do it on Olentangy or do it on Sullivan Ave or like, do it on Livingston, right? Like don't do it in the shoe. So I don't know. It was fun to talk about for a few days.
It was right. I mean, right, because it kind of got everywhere. I mean, it's fun, right? It's funny games. I mean, I know. Obviously, he's a Michigan guy. He feels good about their quarterback and the things he helped pull to kind of help that go along. But yeah, when it comes down to it, we gonna settle things with that team on the field, right? And all the pregame stuff. He could be there for, participate, make his jokes. But we got to take care of business on the field. But anyway, man, too much about that guy, man. Too much about that guy, man. We got college football on, not live. I'm watching TV, man. I'm watching Nebraska take on Cincinnati right now. So you got like Dylan Raiola playing, and then you got Patrick Mahomes, his big brother, in the booth, man. So that's exciting. I seen Bowling Green, Eddie George. He started off his season running back a kickoff against I think it's like Liberty or something of that sort. So they're out
Lafayette
to a good
or
start.
something.
Lafayette, something like that, man. But yeah, they're off to a good start. Man, what's your thoughts about this college football, man? I think who in the Big Ten won? Rutgers beat OU, Ohio U. So,
Rutgers beat OU. I think Minnesota's beating Buffalo right now. Nebraska's on TV. I'm interested in where Nebraska takes it this year. Like, to me, this was always the year. This is what, year 3 for Matt Rule, right?
I think
so. Nebraska.
Yep.
And they got their quarterback. They got their young quarterback. He's in the second year. I think Matt Rule is going to have Nebraska playing good football. I think he's going to have them playing good football. And I always expected by year 3, as long as they got a quarterback, that they start to enter that mix of being pushing for above average Big Ten team that's in the mix. That's in the mix to compete and potentially get a college playoff spot. So here's a start. Thursday night. Let's see. They haven't done much yet, but if you're gonna do that, you got to take care of a team like Cincinnati.
Yeah, you got to win. Yeah, you got to win the game. Yeah, like this one if you want the season to go like you. And like I said, I'm not, for the conference. I'm rooting for Nebraska tonight, I guess. But always a lot of love for Cincinnati and what they do for the state. You got Evan Pryor down there, former Buckeye, playing running back for them. He's out there making some cuts, doing some things early.
He looks good.
He looks good, man. So it's obviously only one team could be 1-0 after tonight, and I guess if I'm pushing for someone, I'm gonna take the Big Ten team. That's for the sake of the conference, more or less. But I don't know, man. I always, I went to the Nebraska game last year, right? And that's a game like. They was with us for 4 quarters. We didn't get to lead into the 4th quarter, and we were able to kind of, hold things from there. So a lot of respect for what Matt Rule is doing. Obviously, Dylan Raiola was a former Buckeye commit himself, right, before he kind of bounced around a little bit and ended up finding him a landing spot up in Nebraska. But, once again, that's recruiting. I can't, knock them for it. So, hopefully they have a decent year. I can't even say the schedule, do we? I don't know if we play Nebraska this year or not. I don't even know. But, hopefully they make some noise, earn one of those spots, at least be in conversation for it at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, this is a interesting year because this is so you have 2 Big Ten teams win a national championship. You have the Big Ten last year really showed that. To me, the Big Ten was a better conference last year. 4 teams in the playoffs. SEC was right up there, but at the end of the day, Ohio State was the best team in college football. Kind of rolled through the SEC in the playoffs, and then in those bowl games, the Big Ten really showed, that they likely were the better conference. I know the bowl games, you got guys missing and the teams out. Teams don't have their full squad, but they showed that they're at that same level. This year is going to be interesting. The teams like Nebraska, Illinois, I put Indiana, Iowa in that mix. Who else? There's a Minnesota potentially. It's like that middle of the conference to just see how they perform relative to the middle of the conference, the SEC. We talked to David Pollack and others feel like that group, like the 3rd, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th best team in the SEC. Those are still quality teams that at any given Saturday can beat a top team in the SEC or be a top team in any conference. I don't feel like that as much. I think they do have more depth in the SEC. I just think those teams switch good years every year, right? I like Tennessee. To me, I think Tennessee, they locked up their coach long term. He's done a great job in turning them around. I think Tennessee falls off. I don't know. Yeah. They had everybody's expecting them to be good. I think they fall off personally.
I mean, it's gonna be a much different year from like last year. They had the SEC player of the year and a running back at Dylan Sampson. I think I saying that right, Sampson or Simpson, 1 or 2. Obviously he's not there. You lose your quarterback, and they kind of shrugged it off like it wasn't a big deal. But Nico played some great ball for them last year, especially what he did in the playoffs and. Just his toughness to kind of just keep going when he's literally getting his helmet caved in by Ohio State, the way he kind of, finished that game. You just don't replace things like that. I know they had a transfer come in, and once again, that's college football. You get a transfer. I think their quarterback that they starting is from UCLA, almost like a quarterback switch, almost type of situation, kind of trade or something of the sort. But man, I don't know. I feel the same. Obviously, this year, I think there's a lot of conversation around a lot of teams in the SEC, but you got to start playing the games and see how it goes. But it's almost like you say, it's almost like the opposite. Like the SEC kind of get the benefit of doubt. So if they end up losing some games, you're like, well, they kind of started here, and they kind of in this lane more or less. And then the Big Ten is like, oh, you got to earn it, right? You got to get to 7-0 or 7-0, 8-0, and then we could consider you to be a serious contender. And I don't know, man. Like I said, it all kind of plays itself out on the field. I think that's why a lot of conversation around the SEC and the Big Ten are talking about those automatic qualifiers. So they get a certain number in that we really could see instead of kind of going to a committee. But I don't know. Last year, I personally felt they got things right. Right? I mean, in my opinion, the way they kind of did things, I feel like they got things right in the scope of things. None of those SEC teams, what was like the Alabama and the Ole Misses, to me, I think with 3 losses, deserved the nod over the guys that actually got in. All right, now we could play devil's advocate of what happened. I think you say, what's the tweet you got? I always love to bring it up and say, the SEC is undefeated in all
hypotheticals.
All hypotheticals. Once the game is over, Alabama would have been there. If it would have been Ole Miss, they would have won by 40. And they're not there. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, we can't compete. The Big Ten cannot compete with the SEC in hypotheticals. Like they are going to be year after year the hypothetical national college football champion. But this weekend, Texas, big time Big Ten versus SEC matchup, Texas versus Ohio State. That will not be a hypothetical. And yeah, I'm still kind of surprised that we get this big game so early. But I'm interested in your perspective, right? Because we focus a lot on Ohio State and what they're bringing back. Where there might be some potential concerns, etc. And I feel like nationally, there's been a lot of talk about Ohio State. Like it's almost, I haven't heard a lot of talk about what Texas, and maybe I'm just not watching enough shows. I haven't heard a lot of talk about what Texas is missing, or Texas replacing on the offensive line, with Texas replacing on the defensive line. Arch Manning, I mean, while he is a top prospect, comes from a football royalty in the Manning family, who've all been able to do that quarterback. He hasn't necessarily shown what he's being kind of touted as currently. And everybody's projecting forward, which you got to do with college players because they improve and they get better. But he still has to show it on the field.
Still has to show. Yeah, no, I think that's right. I know you, like you said it before, like you said, like you feel like this week is kind of springing up on you because it's the big game week 1. I feel the exact opposite. It's like I feel like I've been waiting for it forever. And I'm like anxious about the whole situation. Like I don't want to talk about it. I just want to see the guys get out there and we see what we got, leave it on the field. But I think that's fair. There's a lot of unknowns from both teams here. We don't know what we going to get from Julian Sayin on Saturday, just like Texas don't quite know exactly what they're going to get from Arch Manning on Saturday. We talk about the offensive lines. I think we got a lot of depth. We got a lot of good guys. But when it comes down to it, like they got to go out there and block Colin Simmons, right? Yeah. Colin Simmons posted Julian Sayin on his story, and he said, when it wasn't a bulletin board, I wasn't trying to call him out. It's just I'm just happy they got a quarterback, and I want to go get a sack. He's a good player. He's a very good pass rusher. If anything he does fantastically is get to quarterbacks. Yeah. We got 2 new offensive tackles for Ohio State. They're going to have to step up and block that guy, right? As we kind of talk about, the talent that we got there with Sherfield and Big Field on the right side. So it's a lot of unknowns, right? But when it comes down to it, it's all leading to this point that, on Saturday, someone's going to come out that game, probably the Heisman favorite, right? Somebody can come out that game and really put yourself in a great line and a trajectory to win the Heisman. There's going to be a team. Whoever come out that game is going to be number 1 in the nation, whether it remains Texas, who's already got the AP and coaches poll, or it's going to be Ohio State. Someone's going to whoever win that game, going number 1 in the polls, and you got to live with that target. And go on. Yeah, I was just going. Yeah, go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so there's been a lot of talk about the players. What
Yes.
a new quarterback of Julian saying, what's Arch Manning gonna do? Defensive lines, you know, what all the players need to do. Jeremiah Smith, best player in college football. Caleb Downs, best defensive player. But honestly, in week one, I'm just going back to when we played and when I played first game of the season. You tend to have a lot of mistakes happen. There just tends to be a lot of mistakes, a lot of stuff that's easy to clean up, right? A lot of stuff that you don't see week 6, week 7, towards the end of the year. You won't see in the playoff. You won't see in the championship. So to me, the biggest key for both teams is the coaching. Like to me, the preparation for these two teams, the ability for Brian Hartline, Ryan Day to kind of manage Julian Sands' approach and rhythm and being comfortable, and because this is weak. This is his first. He has nothing. He doesn't have a lot to pull from. You get into a big game, right? You get into a big game versus Penn State. I just played Penn State last year and I had 3 pass breakups in the pick. Like you have something to pull from. This is it for him. So how they manage him. And then the interesting thing on offense is that you do have a new offensive coordinator. You just imagine last year, because they just played Texas, right? Calls coming in from Chip Kelly. You just imagine Ryan Day being very comfortable with Chip Kelly, sweet sequencing plays, calling those plays, getting those in, having some little bit of conversation. What do we want here? Boom, Chip Kelly making those play calls. I'm curious. I'm interested. I wish I could tap the phones. Right? I wish I could listen in. Obviously Hartline's not new, right? So they're gonna have some level of chemistry. But when the stakes go up,
yeah,
like when things get tight,
get tight, yeah. No, it's funny you
what
say
is that
that.
dynamic?
You're right. It's funny you say that because Coach Day, and I don't know, he was speaking. I don't know if he was doing an interview or you see that Caleb Downs and his brother started a podcast. And so he was on the episode. So I don't know if he was doing an interview there or he's doing an interview somewhere. But he was just saying like how when he was the offensive coordinator for Urban Meyer, like you could have a whole TV show about like the headsets, about how they used to go at it, especially him going at Urban on decisions in the game, right? Like this is not practice. Like in the game, they're trying to figure out and kind of say like, hey, I think we should be doing this. And obviously, as the head coach, this is your team. I think we should be doing this right now, right? And so,
so hold on, real quick. So people, so for those who don't understand, right? Because a lot of people don't understand this dynamic, right? You have a coordinator who's relaying a call to the offense, or a defensive coordinator who's giving the call to the linebacker, who's giving the call to everybody else, right? And the head coach is listening in on all of that conversation, is also giving his own input. And when your head coach is the offensive guy, right, and you're the offensive coordinator, when you give that call, the head coach could be like, nah, give him something else, or no, I don't like that. I want something else. I want
to run the ball here. I want that. Yeah.
And that, depending on how quick they work through that, that could delay how long it takes for that call to actually get in. And it also could disrupt, depending on what type of chemistry they have, how they work together. It also could potentially disrupt what that offensive coordinator is trying to do. Or on the flip side, the coach could be like, man, I don't like what he's doing. I don't like, and kind of take it over, right? Like he could just take it over. So
yeah, and I'm gonna have, it's gonna be a challenge because I feel like Coach Day, he's gonna have to bite his tongue a little bit here. And I say that to say, like, you made the call that you wanted to be the general, right? You want to be, be able to kind of weigh in on things. And I think we all agree that that's something that was needed. Fix things from week to week, no longer fixing things once, there's an off season or you're preparing for a bowl game. You see an issue, you get it fixed. We saw last year with our defense, right? We play Oregon, don't perform very well, give a lot of points. From Oregon on, like for the rest of the season, we get it. We had a bye week or something. They get it fixed, right? And we talked to Denzel Burke about the changes that they made as a defense, kind of from there moving forward. and Coach Day having to be able to kind of identify quickly and get a stamp on it. He promoted Hartline back to this position. You know, he had, you know, some years, some experience to kind of go in and learn. He has to trust the game plan. You know, usually offensive coordinator, right, you have with your scripted first 15, first 20 plays, you're calling things and you're kind of watching the defense to see how they react to certain situations because maybe you have something you want to come back with later on the game or later that drive or, you know, and it's crucial in the fourth quarter. You got to let it play out. And if it doesn't work, then, you know, you kind of identify it later when you have some time to get it fixed, maybe during the week in practice. But you have to trust that, hey, here, you know, Hartline turned over some type of game plan. They went over in practice. These are the things I'm doing. This is the reason why. This is the outcome I expect. You got to let it play out. And especially when you get in those situations, you know, and you're still a head coach, right? Like, hey, I really want to run the ball here. Maybe I plan on going for fourth. So you get 2 downs, you know, let's run it here. Let's play safe. Or, hey, I want to end the game right now. Let's kill the clock. I want to see this type of situation. So we just run the clock out. We're no longer attacking, right? We're taking our foot off the gas because I want to run the clock here. You know, things of that nature. He's the head coach. He still get to make those calls. But when it, like you say, you know, if it's 3rd and 6, and I'm making stuff up. Hartline want to run a reverse or something crazy, like, you know, he want to run a reverse on 3rd and 6, and Coach Day like, no, throw the hitch to Jeremiah Smith. Like, he kind of, in my opinion, he has to let it kind of play out so he can kind of don't. If you do too much, then you're on the hook for it, and now you got to show up for it. Yeah. But if you if you be that general, you just oversee. I don't know. I think he needs to kind of figure out a way to kind of stay in that path, even though, you know, Hartline is not Chip Kelly.
Yeah, we've all experienced it. I've experienced it playing defense, and the call comes in late because the coaches are arguing. The coaches are arguing, right? The coordinator says one thing, the head coach is a defensive coach and said, "No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Something else. Give me something else. Give me something else." He said something else like, "No, I don't like that either. Give me something else." And as defense, you're just sitting there. Come on, give me the call. Give me the call. And then the linebacker just calls his own call. We're gonna play cover 2. That's gonna be interesting. On the flip side, defensively, you got Coach Patricia, who, you know, is in his first game as a DC, I believe, in college, or at least his first game in college for a long time. Right. He coached at Syracuse a long time ago. So I'm curious because, you know, Sark to me is kind of the Ryan Day of the South in terms of a head coach who's a great offensive mind. The way he approaches offensive play calls, he really understands what you're trying to do on defense, and he's like, test your rules. So you remember those? They had 2 touchdowns in that playoff game on the wheel route, right? And when I look back at it, at first I thought, oh man, the defense didn't do the right thing. Everybody was right on the first one. Everybody was right, except it was just a tough cover. Like, it was just a tough cover for Sonny Styles. Guy running away from his leverage. Got the pressure. He wasn't able to slide and get outside leverage, and that running back is pretty good. So, you know, Sark identifies that. He knows the defense that you're trying to run. He sees the defense, and he sets up those plays in the red zone or, you know, when he's trying to take a shot, etc. And that's how they get some of those explosive plays. But he hasn't seen Patricia's college defense. Obviously, you can go back and watch what Matt Patricia likes to do, but he doesn't exactly know how he's going to use this group here and try to affect the offense. So I think Coach Patricia has an opportunity to really give them some different looks, not make it obvious what he's trying to do. The challenge is week 1. So you don't want to do too much. At the same time, you don't want to do too much. And then you make it difficult for your team to play fast. So that's going to be the other dynamic. Arch Manning hasn't showed yet his ability to, like, diagnose, you know, what's out there and, you know, do a ton in the past. He's shown he can run the ball. He's shown he can make some good throws, but a lot of those passes are, you know, very, very schemed up plays where you get guys wide open that he made passes to. So, yeah, I think there's an opportunity for Coach Patricia based on, you know, how he structures the defense, based on disguising and using a guy like Caleb Downs on the field who's very intelligent to be able to kind of get Arch Manning a little bit confused out there. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, I think that's the plan, right? I mean, like, and we got some couple comments in the chat, man. I'm gonna butcher this because that's what I do. I don't know if we're going with Ken Taco Hut. I don't know if we're going there, but
Ken
she kind
Taco
of
Hut. I was gonna say Kenta Hut.
That might be
Ken
it too, man. I don't know, bro. But she kind of states the fact that that they already kind of crown Arch Manning as being the guy, right? But I mean, this is college football. You got to prove it, right? And going against a Matt Patricia, who obviously has the mindset of an NFL coach, he knows how to confuse guys. He knows how to set up a blitz where you get a guy overloaded, and if everything's not right and everything's not timely, we're going to be disruptive, right? So obviously we don't know what Matt Patricia's going to do. I know we need to stop the run, right? First off, and we need to be able to kind of on certain situations get some pressure on the quarterback and make things a little bit uncomfortable for him. I mean, obviously, Arch has a lot of hype around him, and like I say, once again, he has to prove it. But he has done some good things. He has played some college football, right? And and we don't want him back there comfortable, seeing everything, understanding the coverage, know what's going on, feet set, making throws. We need to kind of get him off his spot and let him show some of that athletic ability that they bring up, that he could run and things of that nature, and him show some of that impromptu movement and kind of making plays on the move and run to kind of hurt our defense. So it would be exciting to see, obviously, because once again, us being even Buckeye Nation, we have no idea what we want to get on our defense. Right. But we do know we got Caleb Downs. We do know we got some young guys that's finally getting their opportunity to play. We know we got some experience at the cornerback position. We now have some experience at the linebacker position. So it's going to be exciting to see. And obviously, they're the silver bullets, right? They kind of have a lot. They achieved a lot over the last year or two here as a defense, and so they understand that, and they have to kind of pull that forward with Coach Patricia, get themselves lined up, and kind of get after guys.
Yeah, I think my biggest player to watch this game and this year, been talking about him for a couple years now. I feel like he finally gets the opportunity to be the main guy, the starter, lead the defense. It's Arvell Reese.
Arvell Reese, right? Top blooded, baby. Yeah.
When I first saw Arvell Reese, I'm like, oh man, he should be a starter right now. Obviously, it's Ohio State, so no, he should. No, he should. Yeah. But in terms of the talent, like the physical tools and me, going sideline to sideline, getting to the ball, filling the gap, I'm like, man, this kid is impressive, man. And it feels like, a couple years later, it feels like he should already be like the guy nationally, right? To me, I don't know. I still got to go out there and see it consistently game to game. But man, I feel like a big year is coming for Arvell Reese. Yeah, the tar blood.
Yeah, I can second that, man. I mean, obviously, like you say, his stature alone, the way he plays the game when he gets downhill is just special, right? And so now we get to see him more on a snap to snap basis, right? He's playing behind some good guys, playing behind Cody Simon, and now he has Sonny Styles next to him, and he'll kind of stepping in that mic role, and that would be him. So yeah, like the light's going to be bright on him. We expect a lot of things from him. Obviously, he's going to have a lot of expectations on himself and what he could kind of go out there. And James Leonidas, his linebacker coach, essentially, I'm sure he has a lot of pressure and expecting a lot from him on Saturday as well, to kind of go out there and lead this bunch and be that guy that we expect him to be. So, it's going to be great, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of great things, man. Once Saturday hits, but like I said, I'm anxious. I'm kind of like, let's just get there and go, man. But hey, man, one thing we need to hit, man. We started this a couple of months ago, right? When we had our guy on the podcast with us, man. But we still kicking this game off at noon, right? Coach Mac, what's Texas legendary coach name? Mack Brown. Mack Brown made a statement that I'm giving an edge to Texas in this game just because the game's at noon, right? He don't have to, the horseshoe is totally different that night. He experienced it. He was able to kind of get a W when he came in with Vince Young and the boys
Young.
back in the day. In a huge game early in the season at night. I was in high school. I think I was a senior in high school at that game, and it was electric. But yeah, they kind of get a little bit off because of that big noon. What's up with the protest, man? We going out there, man.
Yeah, we got a protest.
Look,
we doing? Shout out to Urban. Look, Urban Meyer, you get our full support.
Full support.
But for this game, college game day, pregame, college game day. I don't want nobody at the big noon. Don't try to get on TV. None of that, right? Lee Corso, college game day. Let's see Lee Corso put the Brutus head on one more time. Mm-hmm. I think maybe his first game he put the Brutus head on or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Let's see him close out his his career, his TV career, putting the Brutus head on one more time. And let's not support that big noon, man. Listen, I appreciate the Fox money deal. I appreciate the deal with the Big Ten. And I know a lot of people say, well, if you didn't want this, you shouldn't have signed it. No, that's not. No. You signed the deal without
in good faith.
Certainty. Yeah.
Right.
And at times, like, sometimes you sign a deal, right? And you expect your partner to do something, and they do something else. That's why there's so many divorces out here, man. So I don't think Fox wants to have a divorce. I think they want to be a good partner. I think that's part of the reason why Portnoy is not invited into any stadiums. You can do your thing outside, but you're not coming into any stadiums this season, because I think they're trying to act in good faith. They're trying to anticipate the needs of their business partners and expect to have a long-term deal. They don't expect this to end with whenever the contract ends, right? So with that being said, we got to put the pressure on when we can. This is a little bit of pressure. It's not a lot, but this is a little bit of pressure with a big noon pregame protest.
Yeah, right, man. Yeah, we got to get it going, because I mean, it's funny enough. We had our guest on the Believe podcast, and he knew the contracts, right, and things that Ohio State agreed to at certain times. I think at the daylight saving times, you can't. Ohio State has the right to refuse a night game, and Fox has this spot slotted on Saturdays, and it was like NBC got a slide, and it was all this stuff, and ABC got and all this stuff. Like, when it really comes down to it, it doesn't matter. Like, teams are playing right now on Thursday to start the season off, right? Like, it could have been Thursday night in the shoe. It'd have been crazy. It could have been Friday night and it should have been crazy. And for them to kind of release a statement like, oh, Ohio State tried to move it on Sunday and we was going to back that, but, it just didn't happen, because Texas had the right to deny. Like, you had a whole... this game, this stuff don't pop up. They had years probably to plan this.
That's them trying to clean it up. That's them trying to clean it up. That's how they try to clean up the Portnoy stuff. I'm telling you, that's them trying to clean it up with the little. Oh yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, all right. They try to clean it up afterwards, man. But yeah, we don't support it.
Man. Yeah, no, we don't support it. We're not falling for it. Not falling for it, man. Not falling for it. Not for one bit, man. So
give me your prediction.
Prediction.
I already know you think who's going to win the game.
I'm always going with the Bucks, man. You know me, I'm always a little lopsided, but I feel like what was that? I feel like in the playoffs, I kind of almost hit it on the head in the playoff, if I'm not mistaken, when I predicted the score of this game. But I'm going with I was close. So I'm going with I think Texas is going to score some points. Just because it's week one. Shout out my man Sam. He watching college football like, damn, week one. Guys are, things get a little wonky. People start doing some weird things that's making him a little nervous. So I think, we kind of come out and take us maybe a little bit to kind of get things under our feet. So I'm going to give Texas 20 points, right? But on Ohio State side of things, I think we're going to do a great job at kind of keeping them off balance, getting the ball to our playmakers. Julian Sand becomes that person I said is going to rocket ship his conversation for being a Heisman finalist, him and Jeremiah Smith, and we scored 34 points. So I think I'm taking Ohio State 34-20. Hartline, he goes out there, he shakes it off, he does his thing, and he's strung out there as an offensive coordinator. And I just think with Julian saying and his head on his shoulders, the playmakers around him, taking what Texas gives us and us breaking some tackles and taking some things a little bit longer that maybe should have been a little bit shorter, we figure out a way to kind of put some points up there. And I'm taking us 34-20. What you got, man? What you thinking? Defensive struggle?
Ooh. I think it's a defensive struggle. I think it kind of breaks open a little bit in the second half, where both quarterbacks settle down a little bit. They got a first half to get the jitters out. Young guys now feel like vets after that half. I would say 27-17. Okay. I think Ohio State controls it, and Texas scores maybe late to get it close. I think Ohio State pulls away in the second half a little bit, as the young Julian Sayin gets settled in. I'm excited about this quarterback, man. I'm excited about his growth. I don't want to, rush it, right? I'm not going to be too critical if he makes mistakes early, but just seeing, kind of the raw talent that he has, I'm excited for that development, man. I remember watching CJ first game. I thought he had a really good first game. Obviously, he made his mistakes, but just in terms of the talent that was there, I thought it was impressive. And I thought the way Ryan Day managed that growth was pretty good.
Yeah.
So I got high expectations. I expect the same type of. I'm not saying he has to be CJ Stroud in the end, but I expect him to be able to show up, deliver the ball to those talented receivers once he settles into the game. And I think they get the win with. I think the home field advantage actually shows up and becomes, even though it's a noon game. I think playing in the shoe on the road for Texas does become a little bit challenging, and they get a loss early. So
and I think it's going to be a good game. I'm very, like I said, I'm anxious for it. I'm ready for them to kind of kick that thing off, man, and get it going, man. But I just think overall, like, it's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. But I just think our guys is ready, right? I mean, it's a new year, right? 25. I don't know what they're doing with banner. I know Caleb said to take those banners down, man. I don't know if they're putting stuff up or not, but you understand that there's a target on us. But there's always a target on us, right? We're Ohio State. Like, we get every team's best punch.
This is what we need.
What you got there,
man?
What
we need right here, man.
Phil?
This is what we need. We need this right here.
And it's going to be Manning going to run it to the right side, and he's got the.
We need that right there. That's what we need. Hold on.
1:01 to go in the first half. 7 Manning, whose team down at the +4, pulling over the 4. And it's going to be Manning going to run it to the right side, and he's got the first down, stumbling over the 45, lost the ball late, but they're going to say he was down.
That's the last time.
Down at the +43-yard line. Arch Manning, whose team is likely will be next year.
The runner was that first down.
That was the missing play. Gunnar Helm came in motion like he was going to go across the formation. Instead, he was under center.
But it's just matter of fact, on the record, no one said he was hurt.
To Arch Manning, who ran a power play off to the right side. The question is, whether this ball came out before he was down.
It was
close. Was that left elbow of Manning down before the ball came out? Lathan ran our side.
You don't know that he's hurt.
Down.
When you watch his replay.
Pushing in the fifth stand.
You can see it.
Of his left hand heading the turf. And it's firm control of the football.
No, he's definitely.
You watch that replay, you see him take that step.
He's limp. That's the sign right there. If they seen that upstairs, they taking his helmet. He's going into the blue tent for evaluation. But no, man, what's going on this weekend, man? Were you watching the game, man? You at home? You going to the game? You in the shoe, or what you got going, man?
I'm gonna watch the game on the screen, man. I'm gonna go and enjoy the pregame festivities.
Okay.
And I'm gonna find a room and watch the game on the screen like I like to see everything. I'm gonna go to the Grambling game. Enjoy the experience. Hopefully Grambling brings their band. I'm gonna enjoy the band and all that stuff. But for this first one, the stakes are too high, man. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it on TV. I gotta watch every detail because I feel like I have a little bit of control out of the outcome when I watch it on TV. Man. I feel like when I'm in the show, I'm lost, man. My son is asking for hot dogs and candy and stuff, man. It's just too stressful.
Nah, I hear you, man. I'm actually I got to travel, man. So I'll be in Chicago this weekend. So I'll be watching the game with some family members out there, man. But obviously locked in, ready to go. Man, you didn't ask me about this pink shirt, man. I usually don't wear. I usually got a nice relaxing. I went golfing today, Chum. Golfing, scrambling. It didn't go as a team.
No, I'm not talking about the team.
-4.
No.
Me as a player still cannot play golf. Like I was out there for the vibes, man. I was out there for the vibes. It was a good day for golf, man. So I think it was a charity event for Mid Ohio Food Bank. So we raised some money, to help out with some food bank situations and things of that nature. So it was for a good cause. I had fun, but let the record show, I still suck at golf. It's still not my fault.
Yeah, you're pretty bad at golf, bro. Yeah, every golf swing looks different when you play, bro. Hey, but real quick, Ohio high school football.
Oh yeah.
Who you looking forward? Who you looking forward to? Are you watching the game? Are you going to the game? Are you streaming the game?
Man. So yeah, I went. I checked out a couple. Last week I went to the Westerville North versus Westerville Central. Beanie Wells, obviously our running back. Beanie Wells, our class. His sons are playing. They're playing high school football now, man. So I went out there and I checked those boys out. They had a shutout. They shut out Central. Beanie got his boys. They got some talent, man. I'm always tracking the scores. My Tall Blooders, they traveled to Massillon. They was picked as a huge underdog on the road. I'm just making all this stuff up now. But they came out with the win, with the overtime with Massillon. Their quarterback Arville Nelson Jr. got like a Northeast Ohio player of the game. He threw like 3 touchdowns. They're coming. Actually, they're traveling south. They play Olentangy Liberty this weekend, so they'll be here in the Columbus area playing the game. Former, Liberty State D1 state champs last year, so that would be a big game, man. What's up, man? I know you got some ties to the Pickerton boys out there, man. How do they look? What's going on out there, man? What's up with the squads?
Yeah, so Pick North went up to St. Nez, and it didn't go too well. Didn't move the ball much on offense. Defense played relatively well for a part of the game. I thought some of the DBs balled out. Shout out to Amari Miller. Shout out to Gio McKnight. I thought them boys balled. I'm interested in that Liberty, because Liberty beat Glenville last year, right?
Yeah. So Glenville play Liberty every year, and it's been going on for a while. And like I said, I go to that game. Glenville is usually the much better team, but due to it being early in the year and not kind of clicking on some things, it's kind of get a little wonky, chunky, and we kind of win the game was kind of tighter than I think it should be. Last year was the first year I was like, man, Liberty actually got a team here. They actually, got some things that, to be honest, kind of went the opposite. Liberty had to lead the majority of the game, and late in the game, we're trying to get ourselves back in it, and it was not able to. And obviously, like I say, Liberty had a squad. They took that team on to be state champions. Glenville made a run. They ended up a solid year. They ended up actually beat St. Ed's last year in the regular season, but I think they came up short in the playoffs, maybe in the semifinals or something like that, after being back-to-back state champions at the Division IV level. So, we got a lot of good guys. We got a lot of talent. Several guys. We got a couple Ohio State commits on that team. Sincere Johnson and Jameer. I'm blanking on Jameer's last name right now, but we got D tackle Jameer. We got Sincere Johnson, who's also a linebacker, DN type of body. So a lot of talent on that team. So yeah, they should be angry. They should be looking to redeem themselves. So I expect a fired up bunch Friday night for my Tar Blooders.
Yeah, Pick North goes up to play Saint Ignatius. So they headed back up north. Go play Saint Ignatius. See how that goes. There's a couple good. I think Pickerington Central plays Wayne tomorrow.
That's a big game.
A couple big time matchups early in the year for these high school football here in Ohio. So
yeah. It's funny. It's I'm all in. Usually goes high school one weekend, then the next weekend is college football, then the next weekend NFL starts. So it's like, you know, when football kick off, I'm like all in from whoever is bringing it. So definitely looking forward to the high school football and bringing it up. Next weekend it'll be my Browns. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they bring to the table, man. But hey, man,
I don't
big
expect
news,
much.
right? Yeah, no, I don't expect much. But hey, man, Michael Parsons got a new team. He's on north to Green Bay, man. So.
Oh man, what? Jerry Jones is getting up there in age, man.
Yeah,
and you would think that he'd be all in on trying to push for a Super Bowl. What was he doing? Like, I just don't understand. Maybe they just were so far apart in negotiations. Maybe that was the case. And maybe that's why he was pushing to just negotiate with Micah so they can get closer. And maybe give him some underhand deals, like, hey, look, I'll get you a restaurant or something. But it was crazy that the way it was going, where he was really treating the agents like they were terrorists. Like, I'm not negotiating with you. Like, what you mean not negotiating?
Like, this is literally what you do. No, it's weird because I feel like, you know, and Jerry Jones has said it, like, you know, sometimes when things are not very, you know, your name not in the news that much, I make some news, right? And so usually around this contract, Dak's last couple contracts, a lot of news, a lot of stuff around it before he make a decision. And then with the CeeDee Lamb, same thing. All this, smoke, there's a lot of stuff up in the air. Then he signed him. He make him the highest player. And I feel like Parsons' contract was going to be the same. Like, he make a lot of noise about it. They say some stuff. And then he makes him the highest, defensive player. But to start harping on, he made a handshake deal at a golf tournament and all this and that and blanking on players' names. I feel like maybe something happened there and it got just too personal, right? Like maybe Micah said some things. Damn, man, I guess I really need to move on from him because that was crazy what he said, or some things were said to him, and he was like, and wherever it is, it's just weird that it got that way so fast, especially for the Cowboys, because to me they're used to this. They're used to the nonsense and the noise about nothing, and they keep their guys. But
the only thing that makes sense is that they really just didn't want to pay him that amount of money. Like, to me, the only thing that really, because all the like back and forth and the talk. At the end of the day, if Michael Parsons gets the money and Jerry Jones gets his player who's going to be productive, all that other stuff goes away. So to me, all of this was just, we really don't want to commit this amount of money. And since we don't, we're going to do all this other stuff. At the end of the day, that's how I feel, because it just doesn't actually make sense. Like,
man, Jerry said we got to stop the run, man. Jerry said we got to stop the run. We got a new D tackling time, man. But yeah, but shout out, the chat is going, man. Shout out to Boogie 216. That's my guy Jake Starks, man. With the what up, fellas. We got Asian Posh, one of our we want to say one of our day one
super fans.
Super fans, man. Here are our podcast, who's always showing love and support. Shout out to Polo. I played golf today. I played a little golf today. And we're not gonna keep harping on the golf situation, but at least I got a nice shirt because of it. So
you hit a golf ball like Charles Barkley. But
hopefully Barkley's not this bad. Hopefully he figured it out. Yeah, man. Yeah. So what's it for the eating, man? You watching Nebraska, Cincinnati? You're gonna be over to Wisconsin playing Miami, Ohio. Miami, Ohio got several tall brothers on there, man. That game, kind of enticing to see if my guys out there.
Yeah, the Nebraska Cincinnati game looks like it's gonna be a game, so I think I'm gonna stay there. Wisconsin, Lou Fickell they gotta make a jump this year, man. I'm a Fickell guy. Shout out to Coach Fick. They got to do something this year. They got to make a jump this year. So I'm not watching them until they play somebody for real. I'm not watching them play Miami, Ohio. I will not tune in.
I hear you. Yeah, no, man. All right, man. So I don't know, man. This weekend I'm out of town, so I don't know if we'll be able to. If we find some time, man, I know we'll try to jump on and bring a little something during the game. That's for sure. That's what we do, man. So still tune in to all of us, to everything we bring. If it's live, if it's YouTube, if it's are we live on YouTube? Probably live on Twitter, man. Live on X.
Yep.
Apple. I don't know. This stuff go to Apple? I don't even know. Right? Yeah, man. I don't know. But no, man. But yeah, we're gonna be talking Ohio State football whenever we get going, man. And that's for sure. Shout out to Jam. Jam jumped in the chat. Appreciate you following, looking in on us, man. We really appreciate it. But yeah, man, let's gear up for a good weekend. Obviously, it's gonna be an early one, so set those alarm clocks. I'm gonna be in Chicago, so I'm gonna be on Central Time, man. I'm gonna be up an extra hour early, bringing a party and getting myself ready to go for this big game, man. But it's gonna be a good one. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna play fine. It's week 1. Don't be nervous. The week 1 Bluebirds is not gonna get us. Coach Day and the guys, they're ready. They're ready to go, right? Ready to go.
Yeah, they should be ready. I know Coach Day got to be. You got a new quarterback starting in a big game, first game. I know he got to be thinking about all types of things that can go wrong at this point. Okay. Man, I wouldn't be able to sleep, but yeah, we'll see y'all again here, maybe in the next couple of days.
Yeah, that's right. Hey man, we still got to end the show, man. We got to end the show properly, man, with a nice OH.
Ayo.
Go Bucks. Go Bucks. Down with the what's this? Yeah. You're down with that, man.
Yeah. Horns down, baby. Horns
down, man.
All right.